Welcome to Tent Talk, the podcast with Nancy McCready, where we talk about life under the big tent of God's presence and the provoking process of discipleship. Here we go.
Hey everybody, welcome to Tent Talk. This is Nancy McCready. You may have noticed we've gone back into the series that we did a few episodes ago that was, True Leaders, His Leaders. And we've stepped back in talking about Nehemiah. And today I finally read from the book, Spiritual Leadership. It's the closing chapter on this leader, Nehemiah. What a builder. And in this episode, we specifically read and comment on the aspects of his character as a stellar leader. So take a listen. I am so glad that you're here with us on Tent Talk. All right, we are continuing talking about Nehemiah. I am going to read chapter 22 out of Spiritual Discipleship by Oswald Sanders, and it is entitled The Leader, Nehemiah. Nehemiah is one of the most inspiring leaders in the Bible. At times, his methods seem somewhat vigorous, but they were used by God to achieve spectacular reforms in the life of his nation in an amazingly short time. An analysis of his personality and methods discloses that the methods he adopted were effective only because of the quality of his own character. His character. The first impression a reader gains from this straightforward story is that Nehemiah was a man of prayer. For Nehemiah, prayer was an ordinary part of living and working. Prayer was his first reaction on hearing the plight of immigrants in Jerusalem. Nehemiah was no stranger at the throne of grace. And you can reference this in Nehemiah 1:4 and Nehemiah 2:4, Nehemiah 4:4, Nehemiah 5:19, Nehemiah 6:14, Nehemiah 13:14, 22, and 29. He showed courage in the face of danger. Should a man like me run away? Or should one like me go into the temple to save his life? I will not go. That's chapter 6, verse 11. Such firm fearlessness would inspire any discouraged people. His genuine concern for the welfare of others was so obvious that even his enemies noticed it. He expressed his concern in fasting, prayer, and tears. Nehemiah identified with his people in their sorrows and in their sins. I confess the sins we Israelites, including myself and my father's house, have committed against you. Nehemiah exhibited keen foresight. He knew that opposition was sure to arise, so he secured letters from the king for safe passage and for the resources to accomplish the task, to make beams for the gates of the citadel and for the city wall. He carefully planned his strategy. Through all his adventures and boldness, there runs a strain of caution. He did not jump into the work immediately upon arrival, but waited 3 days to appraise the situation. And when he did set to business, he did not hold a tell-all press conference, but kept his goals largely secret, even doing reconnaissance under cover of night. Nehemiah could make clear decisions. He did not put off the tough call, but cut to the heart and made a judgment. And his decisions were impartial. He did not play favorites. When censure was needed, he gave it to officials and executives as well to workers. Nehemiah was uncommonly empathetic. He listened to grievances and took remedial action. He let people weep on his shoulder. He sympathized with others. Nehemiah was a realist. He understood the mechanics of the real world. We prayed to our God and posted a guard day and night. He accepted responsibility with the intention of following through on all assignments, the pleasant ones and the dirty ones, until the job was done. Nehemiah was a vigorous administrator, a calm crisis manager, a fearless initiator, a courageous decision maker, and a persevering leader. He was resolute in the face of threats and vigilant against treachery. A leader who won and held the full confidence of his followers. Now, I've listed there, that was the section on his character. So let me just quickly say, he showed a concern for the welfare of others, Nehemiah 2:10. He expressed that concern in fasting, prayer, and tears, Nehemiah 1:4-6. Nehemiah exhibited keen foresight. My friends, if you're going to have oversight, you must have foresight. You must be able to see ahead. And he was a careful planner, and he mapped out his strategy, and yet he was cautious in his timings and the way that he put those plans into action. I love this one. He kept his goals largely secret. So he wasn't out just telling everybody, only maybe those that were necessary. He could be decisive. He was empathetic. I love this, that he was very down to earth. He was a realist in the sense that, yes, we prayed, and then we posted a guard day and night also. So I love that he's not foolish, and he is very straightforward in the way that he does things, because we must understand that we can pray to God, and then God says, now here's how I'm going to answer the prayer, is stand guard day and night. So we must see how we partner with God, and we are often the answers to the very prayers that God provokes us to pray. So that was quite a list there at the end: a vigorous administrator, a calm crisis manager, a fearless initiator, a courageous decision maker, a persevering leader. Because, my friends, when God puts within you to steward aspects of his kingdom, to steward the great works that were written down for us before time, my friends, if nobody else shows up, then you, the one who he spoke to, will continue. This is a part of being at the tip of the spear, if you will, is if nobody else shows up, I'm going to continue to follow what God has given me. And yet we do want others to join in. We do want to be an encourager, and we want to be those who live out what we're encouraging others to do. So I'm going to stop here, and in our next episode, we're going to continue reading, and we're going to see what his methods were. And you'll find those to be very, very interesting. So I'm so glad that you're staying with me here in the month of December. It is time for Holy Shift here at NMM as we continue in our end-of-year giving campaign. And I hope that you'll go to our page, nancymccready.com. You'll look in the show notes. You'll click on giving, and you'll be a part of how we are about to scale up. And I hope that we will be exactly what we share with you, that we will be the message, and that we will be a part of building you as you are also his message to the world. So I love you all. Until next time.
For more information on Nancy, please visit nancymccready.com or follow her on social media at NB McCready.